Hello, my name is Tim Phillips and I'm doing this video to try to encourage as many people as possible to tell their local MEPs about our MEP survey. So I've put together this set of slides on the survey from last year, and I just want to tell you some little facts about it which I think will be interesting. So we've just launched our 2021 MEP survey. We're sending links directly to the MEPs themselves. It's hugely important this year, I think, especially given the changes that are going on at a European level, the cancer plan that is being agreed at the end of this year, and the plans for regulating new nicotine products going forward. So I think this is a really important time to understand what MEPs think about these products. We did a survey this time last year, and we want to compare the results and see what has moved. So what's going to be very interesting is to see how MEPs' views have changed, given everything that's been going on with vape and other categories over the last year. So the findings from last year's survey, and I'll tell you about some of the results, but we were looking at knowledge levels. So how much do MEPs understand and know about these products? What do they think about the risk levels of the products? How does their knowledge of the product affect risk? And I think the results are pretty self-explanatory. What do they think these new nicotine products have as a role to play in terms of smokers' behaviour? And then how should they be regulated going forwards? Last year, we got responses from around 5% of the total European Parliament. And this year we're going for 10%, so we need to get more than 70 responses. So please do encourage your local MEP to answer the survey, tell people about it. That would be really helpful for us. Thanks. So some results from last year. Product awareness, first of all. What's clear is there's very differing product awareness amongst MEPs, certainly the ones that we surveyed. Highest level of knowledge given for vapor. I suppose that's not a great surprise. Lowest for nicotine pouch. But I think what's interesting is that at least a third of the MEP surveyed have at least some knowledge of the product, and clearly more for some of the products. What's their view of risk? Well, it differs between the three different product categories that we're looking at here. I think what's interesting is that at least more than 50%, more than half of all MEPs think that all of the products are safer than cigarettes. And as you can see, more than 75%, so more than 3/4 think that vapor is safer than cigarettes. What is, though, I think telling is in that orange and dark red section at the top of each of the bars. So around 20% or more think that these products are either more harmful than smoking or equally harmful to smoking. And I think that's really quite telling. So important to see how that changes for this year's survey. MEP's risk assessment of these products is very dependent on how much knowledge that they have. I think that's self-evident, but I think this really shows that. So the chart on the left shows that those MEPs that said they had knowledge, at least some knowledge of the products, were by and large very much more positive about these products being less harmful than smoking. And similarly on the other side of the chart there, if they had no knowledge or not aware of the product, they were much more likely to think that the products were more harmful or the same as cigarettes. No surprise there, I think, but also important to see that on the right hand side, those with no knowledge were much less likely to much more likely to not be sure what they thought about the risk of these products. Perceived role. So what's coming out of this is that at least half of MEPs think that these do have a positive role in terms of offering a way out of smoking for smokers. That differs between the different product categories, but also importantly, we can see that there is an element of MEPs who think that these products lead to smokers or non-smokers rather taking up smoking. So that's obviously a very much more negative message. Final slide. What's MEP's attitudes towards regulation? There's huge amounts of detail that we'll go into, I suppose, nearer the time, but just in general on major categories. On the right hand side, A vast majority, more than 3/4, think that online sales should be allowed for these new nicotine products, which I thought was, quite interesting and slightly surprising. On the left-hand side, perhaps more what we expected. At least half of MEPs think that the advertising restrictions should be the same for new nicotine products as for smoking, and although a majority think that flavours should be less restricted compared to smoking, there's still quite a lot of MEPs who think that the regulations should be similar. That's the end. Quick, information about us, and I'm happy to send these slides to you if you want to get in touch. We're an independent data company in the sector. We've been in it for more than 6 years now, in fact, more than 7 years. And if there are any possibilities to get in touch, please do so. And we're online. We'd be very happy to hear from you. Thanks very much.